That's the goal.
When you sit here the night before practice begins, nervous, anxious, excited, will you sleep tonight? What's the mindset as you get ready to go? All of it?
This the sun coming out, but it's kind of like your dog on the first day of dove hunting. He's itching ready to go get the birds. So I'm looking forward to getting out there, running around with the guys, putting the ball in the end zone. Just ready to. We've busted our butt this whole summer, so actually get to go out and play the game we love. We're all fired up for that.
Mm-hmm. What was when the poll came out and said West Virginia's picked preseason 14? What was the conversation among you guys?
Yeah, I think that ever since West Virginia was a state, it's always kind of been West Virginia against the world. And our team, we embrace that. We love that. We love being the underdogs. Some of West Virginia's best teams, they were counted out. They were the underdogs. So we look forward to embracing that and shocking the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are you the starter?
We'll see after fall camp.
Do you think you're the starter?
We'll see after fall camp.
Well, God, Hoppy, obviously he's
Well,
going to compete.
He's got a competition coming. He's got to enter practice tomorrow. He's going to compete for the job.
I don't think he's going to go into preseason camp and say, I hope I finish 3. Obviously he wants to be the starter, but there's competition.
I understand that. I understand that. Big Garrett, one of the great questions by Mountaineer fans is who the starting quarterback will be. I'm just asking what the people want to know.
Sure.
That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
I think he just gave the answer. I'm going to compete to be the starter. Yeah. You plan to be the starter.
Yeah, that's always the goal. So I'll check back in with you here in a couple of weeks.
All right, I'll give you you text me.
I'll shoot you a text.
I tell you what, if he said no, we're going to ask him to leave right then. We're going to ask him to leave right then because you got to be that. You got to be that guy. As I said earlier, we're going to bounce around.
Yep.
Let's talk about the European vacation. It wasn't vacation. It was, you guys. The 5th quarter program is pretty wild.
Yeah.
There's a continuing series of events that you guys build up to, and the culmination of it was that trip to Germany. Is it everyone? Are the only people that are allowed to get in business school guys?
No. So I'm sports management.
Okay.
Is my major.
Okay.
You just have to.
We got mic button, right? See that cough button? Look at that.
It's right there.
Oh yeah, you can press that. Just
there you go.
Hoppy never uses.
But no, you just have to apply and do and do interviews for it. But it's a phenomenal program and truly one of a kind in college football.
What blew your mind? Like, give me 2 lasting memories of you guys over there.
Probably just seeing all the. I haven't been to Germany since I was 13 years old, so kind of being able to experience Germany as a real adult,
right,
rather than a little kid. And then probably seeing Santorini, Greece is. You
told me about that before. Like you guys,
Greece was wow, wasn't it?
Oh, it was phenomenal. It was unbelievable. What a spot. What a view. I look forward to going back one of these years.
So that's when you guys broke apart, right?
Yeah.
So everyone had the opportunity, like after a period of time. Okay, now you guys can go travel around. Who went to Greece with you?
It was me, Grayson, and Will Schoonover.
Okay.
Us 3 went to Greece. And
so Schoonover providing military protection if needed?
He provided
heavy security
support.
there. That's excellent.
U.S. embassy cards, something like that. I got this. I'm totally good, guys. I got this.
He had the military support. So.
And so it's just like picturesque, just like wow.
Yeah,
right?
It's just phenomenal. You look it up and it looks exactly how it does, 24/7.
Yeah.
How about food? Best food you had while traveling over there?
Best food I had was like a €3 chicken gyro in Greece. That was the best food by far. Me and Grayson were loving those.
Crushed those?
Yeah, we were loving those. We probably had 3-4 a day while we were there.
And you told me you guys worked out there.
Yeah.
You worked out. Okay, so what was the work? What was it? Here we go, Hop. First Mountaineer workout in Greece. What did you do?
There's a lot of beaches in Greece, right?
Yes.
So it was a lot of curls and a lot of abs.
Just showing it off.
Did you
showing it off?
You guys didn't look like you were from there. So did you get people that were from there, kind of going like, "Wow, look at those guys, American cowboys"?
The linen shirt may have changed their mind. that was the first purchase in Greece.
You got one of those.
Was the linen shirt, the no collar.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to morph into that.
Unbuttoned.
Yeah, completely. Now, if you really wanted to become full Greek, you should have had like 5 cigarettes going at the same time. Them dudes
Might
like
have
to
impacted the conditioning a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, them dudes like to smoke, huh? Did you notice that? A lot of people just kind of lighting up burners all the time.
See, Santorini was really touristy.
Okay, so it's more of that.
There was a lot of Americans there, but when we went to Athens, people were.
Oh, they fired them up.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, it's like 1956 still there as far as that goes. Yeah.
How about your golf game? You played golf at Pete Dye this week, and you had who was playing golf with you?
Me and Frazier. We were down there
How about
playing.
That'd be Zach Frazier.
That would be Zach Frazier.
Garrett says Zach can really hit it, huh?
Zach is a phenomenal golfer.
Seriously, first I've heard of this.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. Watching him hit a ball is special. Even though Zach, if you're watching, I got you yesterday.
Oh,
So he
nice.
drives.
Hold on real quick before we get to Frazier. You shot what at Pete Dye? Put that
So
on
we were
record.
playing in like a charity tournament. So we were just kind of, we were just hitting the ball around. But like Frazier shot 82 out there. I've shot 81.
Really, Frazier's that good?
I think if me and Frazier played 10 times, it'd be 5-5. I think.
So does he hit it like with the club, or does he just throw the ball between his legs?
No, what's it called?
He hits it with
smash
he hits
He
it.
can hit it, and then probably the best part of his game is his touch around the greens, which is shocking for that big of a guy. But his touch around the green is phenomenal.
How
would
far?
he be a guy that could do like anything? Is he one of those guys? Like if y'all went out and played baseball, he could play like first base.
He's
or
not
something?
better than me at baseball.
Yeah, well,
I'll put that on record.
I didn't ask if he's better than you. I just because you're a good baseball. I just asked if he could play.
Yeah, he
Would
can. He can play cornhole. He
Wide
can
range.
do it all.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't, I wouldn't wrestle him either.
no, I've tried. You don't want to do that.
Did y'all have any side money going on that game?
No, he's been scared to play me because I've been playing some pretty good golf recently.
Oh, so he didn't want to go there.
So he doesn't want to lose the ego on the golf course.
Best round you've ever shot.
I shot 80 back home at
Okay.
my home course back home.
Tell me, I've heard baseball. Obviously, your dad's still in the game.
Yeah, so he's the assistant director of player development for the Brewers in
Okay.
the minor league system.
Does that mean he's pop? Is he just constantly moving from one spot, or is he based in the?
He's based out of Nashville. He just moved to Nashville actually this year.
Mhm.
So he'll spend a few days in Nashville and then he'll shoot off to one of the affiliates, whether it's Carolina,
Yeah.
Biloxi, wherever, Phoenix.
And his career was what? How he ascended into the game? What was his whole deal?
So he got drafted out of high school, but then my granddad, he was a coach at Miami-Dade. He'd never say this, but he's in the American Baseball Coaching Hall of Fame.
Wow.
For his job there. So he wanted to go play for his dad. So he went there, and then he got drafted, and then he always says he was a basketball player. Like basketball was his first love. Larry Bird is his favorite player.
How tall's your dad?
He got the height.
Okay.
He's like 6'3".
Okay.
So he's a big dude. And both of his brothers, they played Division I basketball.
Oh wow.
And he loved basketball, but baseball was his calling. So he played 13 years professionally. He played 5 years in the big leagues, and then I think 2005 he started coaching for the Brewers, and he's been there ever since.
How good were you? Baseball. How good were you?
I was all right.
I mean,
I held my own.
Okay, so if you just said I'm just going straight baseball, where would you have ended up?
Do you want the real like what I really think?
Yeah.
I'd be playing professionally if I would have stuck with baseball. That's what I think, and I obviously have one of the best coaches right in my household. So
Right.
I felt good about baseball, but
How torn were you in that path, though? Right? There's obviously a lot of baseball background right there. How torn were you? How close was it to saying, I love this game of football, but man, baseball, there's a future there?
yeah, I think baseball was my first love for sure. But my dad, he was super supportive that no matter what sport I was, he just wanted to be dad. He told me, I coach for a living. I don't want to coach you.
Mm-hmm.
So he was super supportive in my decision, and growing up as a kid, especially in the South, college football is king. So it was always my dream to be a college quarterback. It was never really my dream to play in professional baseball. I thought it was just cool because that's what my dad did.
Mm-hmm.
But it was always my childhood dream to play college football and be a quarterback.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. A lot of people dream that. Very few get to actually do it,
Mm-hmm.
and you have. and you are. So that's those are good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are really
You
good.
had, so with your dad, I mean, you probably got a lot of locker room access, right?
Yeah,
A
so
lot of
that's
guys,
I think
a lot
that's
of
part
guys.
of who I am as a person was growing up in the locker rooms, and I think that's why I kind of carry a sense of confidence and swagger
Yeah.
to myself. Is that I saw it from when I was 5 years old. Like my dad, I remember he brought me out to instructional league, which is in the fall. It was kind of like in between school starting, and he brought me out there for like 3 weeks. I was 5 years old, and he wakes up every morning at 5:30, get to the stadium. So I was at the stadium at 5:30, shagging balls, making copies for him, doing whatever. So I think that's part of my development as an athlete and player.
What's the difference? Where is the line between confidence and cocky?
I think cockiness is just thinking that you're gonna win just by showing up, and I think confidence is having prepared, doing your work, paying your dues, and being confident in all the work that you've put in. That it'll give you a chance for success.
He's a little too young for those '83 Brewers.
Yeah,
Robin Yount, Paul Molitor, Cecil
yeah.
Cooper,
Those are good. Yeah, those are
Gorman Thomas.
I know the names though. I know the names.
good. What major leaguer left an impression on you?
So one of my dad's, probably my dad's favorite player is Martin Maldonado for the Houston Astros. He won the Gold Glove a few years ago, and I guess you get 3 Gold Gloves.
Oh wow!
And he gave one of them to my dad.
Oh,
So
wow.
my dad has that in his office, and my dad would never say this, but he really is one of the best. He's the best catching instructor in the world. That's what he does. That's his passion. So I think Martin Maldonado is probably my favorite baseball player of all time. He gave me gear. I had Maldi on my neck when I was catching. So he's my favorite player, and he'll be a family friend for life.
Going back to what you said, you see those dudes in the clubhouse, right? So you learn how to act and you learn how not to act.
Yep.
Because these are professionals.
Mhm.
And I've been in those clubhouses and I've seen that you just have different personalities. Like some dudes are completely great dudes and they're cool and they're chill and they're great and they're supportive. And then you got other guys that are just absolute D-bags. And I think you probably saw both of that, right? And you kind of learn and go, I'm not doing that. Don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, that's kind of what my dad. I can talk all day about my parents, but my dad, he always told me that sometimes you learn more about what not to do than what to do. And he every time that a situation would come up or someone would mess something up, he'd be like, Garrett, like that's if you want to know what not to do, do that, do this instead. So I think it was a phenomenal experience, and definitely one that not many kids get.
Was that on Instagram this past, was it the winter or the fall, your mom throwing the ball?
That was Mother's Day.
Mother's
That was Mother's Day.
Good arm.
Oh,
I mean, she brings it.
she's the athlete.
I mean, right?
Yeah, she's super athletic. She's more athletic than she gives herself credit for.
Yeah. So what did she play anything? High school, college? What did she?
She played soccer all throughout high school.
Okay. But you could tell she's bouncy.
Yeah, she
Quick
is.
twitch.
She says that's where I get my twitch from.
See?
is from her. But my dad, he traveled so much.
Yeah.
That he was gone out of the house. So I remember like I was being 6 years old. Throwing football as hard as I could to my mom, and
She can make
And she
plays.
just
She was
bringing
making
it.
catch.
oh, she made the
Is that
play.
all you got? Is that all you got?
Yeah, so I can remember that. That's one of my most vivid memories of my childhood is in the backyard throwing up the hill
That's
to my
awesome.
mom with I think it was a black XFL football from like
First iteration of the
2008 or
XFL, of
something.
course,
Yeah,
first
the
iteration.
Yeah.
Yeah. The offense will be coordinated by Chad Scott this season. Obviously, Neil will have a hand in that as well. What was your takeaway from spring ball when they put the stuff in as far as what this is going to maybe look differently than it was a year ago?
Yeah, I think talking with Coach Scott a lot is kind of his whole MO as the coordinator is, to put our guys in the best positions to make plays. So, guys like Cole Taylor, Devin Carter, CJ, guys like that, put them in great situations to where they don't have to think too much. We just get the ball to them and they can go make plays.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of what he wants to do is just find creative ways to get the balls to our playmakers.
Yeah.
More designed runs for you, or are you just going to take off when you feel like it?
I'm just going to run the offense to the best of my ability. You know, whether that's
he's got it.
He's giving
Kercheval over
he's
here
giving-
trying to
I
uncover
can't
secrets.
shake him.
I mean, he's got it.
Stonewall and
I
Kercheval.
cannot shake him loose.
No,
man.
you
yeah, you know,
cannot shake
whether
him
whether
loose.
I got to hand the ball off to CJ